What is this thing? Robert Miller, Canada's Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, I thought that was Nygaard, but I guess we got this other guy. Rape virgins for $20 Barbies. I don't think that's an appropriate title. It should say, like, I don't know. Billionaire businessman Robert Miller. He's 80. Allegedly enticed and coerced minor girls into sexual abuse using drugs and alcohol. Dude, this guy's like your worst nightmare. He looks like your Ken doll came to life. That creepy, like, thought of it. Not like in a good way. Okay. So now there's a class action, and he paid minor girls as young as 11 to have sex with him. Okay, so human trafficking little children. Okay, so before resigning as president and CEO in February 2023, I don't know how he passed my radar. The Google, okay? Miller informed staff members of Defendant Future Electronics that he adamantly and vehemently denies the malicious allegations made against him and confirms they are all false. The alleged sex crimes happened in the early 2000s and 1990s. The rape fest from hell from all men. On children. Yes, it's all of them and they're white. Look, and rich. Okay, so yeah, the homeless is not the problem here. It is these guys. And according to the victim, the millionaire enticed and coerced them into sexual abuse using drugs and alcohol. Okay, so that's actually another crime, right? You're giving kids drugs, which is illegal as is, but alcohol, which is legal for 21 and over. But in Canada, I'm not sure. Maybe it's 18, but maybe it's 21. Anyway, he used alcohol to do that because he wants to knock them out. Okay, so that's a Ted Bundy, right? So his victims were destitute and defenseless. One victim, known as Madam Seven in the class action lawsuit. I don't know if I would use that name, but okay. So, and she was tricked into the harrowing meeting with Miller in an exclusive interview with The Sun. To conceal their identities, each of the ladies cited in the case is referred to as Madam. Why? I don't like that. But anyway, I guess over there. And given a matching number. We are numbers. That was like my job. Okay, so I try to forget and bury this traumatic experience as deep as possible inside me. Madam Seven shared, I am very sad that I found myself in this situation when I was young, vulnerable, and in need, and I have a hard time forgiving myself. I live in shame and regret, and I suffer a lot. Shame and regret? But it's not your fault. Like, none of it is. And they'll tell you that in therapy, by the way. So, but I didn't need it told to me. But see, there's some people that need it told to them. That would be them, but also the rapist. Okay, so he learned about my dreams and aspirations to better manipulate me. Yeah. And convince me that he would take care of me and that he would pay for my study. Oh my God. If I had even a penny for every guy that like tried this bullshit on me, even into my adulthood, I would be just as rich as him. Okay, because this is like part of these guys' lure, you know. It's like, you know, if you don't go to work anymore, I'll take care of you. Or that one guy's like, I'll buy you a car. You know, if you don't go to work today, wink, wink, you know what's going to happen here, and you'll probably never be seen again. And so since I was living in poverty, you don't even have to live in poverty for this bullshit to even fly. You could be in a middle class thing and some like total rich dude comes up and he's like, yeah, you want to change your life? Blah, you know, this crap. This is what they do. And they know it. And that's why they say it. Because if they weren't using it as a lure, then they would sit there and not mention it at all because these are the guys that tend to come out here and go, oh, they're using me for my money. And yet this is their predatory behavior, right? I got all this money, girl. Yeah, because I know that you're going to like bite because I have all this money. It's like, you know, when you go fishing and you put that little worm on the end and they know that it's going to trick the fish and that's what they do. And then after the fact, when they're like, you know, used or whatever, you know, because they're manipulating and, you know, getting a kid or another adult, whatever. And then they start going, oh, I was used. I was used. Yeah, that's them. So, you know, but I'm just saying that that's so typical that I could swear every woman across the globe could raise her hand and go, did you ever get told this? Yeah. And then like how many times? Twice? Raise her hand again. 3 times, raise your hand again. 20, raise your hand again. Yeah. Okay, so since I was living in poverty, I believed his false promises in return. That's the thing. No matter what you do, they won't give it to you anyway. My thing is like this. If you want to give me a gift or you want to do something really nice for me, then you can do it. You should have no expectation in return for it. Now, typically when people do that, most people are, thankful for whatever, unless they're like sociopaths that are just like leeching off of everybody and whatever. But most people are very appreciative. Tired. Would be really thankful to this guy for helping them out, right? I mean, they do shows on this crap all the time, right? Where they go and surprise people and change their life. You know what I mean? Like that thing. But no. So in the back of his mind, all he wants is a goal, right? So he wants to like rape you, and that's it. And so however he can obtain that goal for saying anything, then that's what they say. And then what I found in these situations that when they try that with me and I tell them no, there are some guys that will still like do what they're, trying to lure me with, but then in hopes that I will change my mind, right? And then they get mad, right? And then, in other cases, I've seen girls actually bite and then they do those things and then the guy does the same thing and screws them over and leave, right? Yeah. So, don't fall for it, because eventually, even if you don't see it now, you may get all this stuff right away, but it's going to come back around again because this person didn't have good intentions in the first place, right? So when the lady first encountered Miller at the age of 15, she had been the victim of both physical and sexual abuse as a child, and was trying to find work to support herself. And that's also telling you how many rapists are out here, right? Because you already got sexually abused by somebody else. And it's not your fault. It's because they're all predators. It's not because you put yourself in a situation. Okay? Just putting it out there so people perceive this correctly versus the garbage that has been spread around by all these rapist people. Okay, so he was tall and imposing, and his ritual was to make me consume alcohol to make me dizzy in order to then abuse me. He thought he was a guru. Ah, so yeah, okay, so we broke this down on the narcissistic personality disorder of theirs, where they have that God complex. Okay, so yeah, totally, and mostly a billionaire. Okay, so to even get there, you gotta have this going on. So it says, but his only goal was to satisfy his sexual urges. It was disgusting. Exactly. Because he could buy anything. Everything's an object, and he ran a bunch of people over to get where he got. And no, it's not hard work. It's just him being a piece of shit. Nothing can ever erase the passage from my life, but I hope that justice will be done. So that it's Canada. I don't know. So I could finally turn the page on this horrible chapter of my life and teach a lesson to these rich and powerful men who destroy lives while thinking everything permanent. I don't know, different wording. Maybe it's Canada. Maybe it's me. Maybe my brain's not working today. Okay. A second lady referred to the lawsuit as Madam 46. Is there 46? How many victims are in this? Okay, so it says, to the son, first abused her when she was 12. Ugh. And at the time he was in his early 30s. He preferred virgin, younger girls. He preferred innocence. It was almost like a trophy to him to take these young girls' virginity. But isn't it very biblical? That was actually coming from the Bible. Now, that's why I said, I go, as a sociopath that wrote the Bible, because somebody came up with that bullshit right there and then put it in there. And then that's what was going on. And when they started raping the kids, and then what they did was they created the laws around that whole thing. So initially, the age of consent was right there. And that's when they said, oh, totally legal to rape these little girls. Yeah. And little boys. Little boys at 7. Yeah, and then they tried to stand behind, well, it's biblical, Mary, eat this, and, they're all kids in there, so, and we go by when they start their cycle. That thing, I'm like, no, what is this? There's no definitive, first of all, there's no definitive date when that starts, and that's disgusting. They're going by your biological thing, and no. And it was men that came up with this, okay? Just pointing it out. It was them the whole time. Okay, so I was never exposed to anything like that. Well, you shouldn't be. Oh, it says, it's like you can't understand how it's possible that a man like this is capable of doing the things that he's done. He was a chameleon. That's every guy I met. I was like, really? I'm just kind of laughing at that because it's like, oh wow, just this guy. No, you're gonna be in for a surprise because when it first happened to me as a kid, well, not first time, but when that one situation happened to me, you're thinking like, oh, there's just this guy or something. And then all of a sudden, the rest of them, they're all chameleons because they come up to your face, they act like, oh, this is a horrible thing. Oh, no, we're actually for it. And behind your back, we're going to be talking some crap. Yeah. And no. And then they do it. And then once they rape you, they go and they spread around lies about it. And then to cover them before you, like they're jumping ahead of the story. So they're most known for doing things like that. Okay. That's a socio right there. The chameleon thing. Yeah. I mean, you're already like describing that PD right there. I was never exposed to anything like that. And I remember crying because I was so confused as to what was happening. And he kept on telling me it's okay. It's normal. Yeah. Raping kids is normal for him. And he kept saying it's our little secret. How disgusting. Like, how many... now, somebody must... I always think, like, when I go through these cases, because, like, million of them have had this happen, where, like, the perpetrator had this happen to him as a kid. And someone played this little game with them, like, it's our little secret. And maybe his dad, maybe his mom, maybe his uncle, maybe a neighbor, somebody, right? And then they start just running off with it and doing this to other people later. Miller allegedly handed the 12-year-old $20 once the performance was over and instruct $20, man. That's also an insult. Like, he shouldn't be doing any of this, but it's also like a slap in the face as well. He's a billionaire, right? So he's like, $20. I mean, you know what I mean? This is also another way to degrade you. And then it says what the performance was over and instructed her to go purchase something pleasant. For $20? He said go get a Barbie or something. At 12? I didn't have... Okay, I was not playing with... Okay, 12. 12, I'm in junior high, and no, Barbies we didn't play with Barbies at 12. That's, what the hell? Ew. What is that? He wants a 5-year-old. Okay, so Madam 46 kept the event from her parents a secret, and I was humiliated. I felt dirty. The sexual exploitation, rape, and abuse became into a regular event. Is there another story on this? Because it's under this weird... To me, he was a wolf in sheep's clothing. He was a very smart man, but a coward at the same time. He was able to manipulate all these people, and in my case, I call it brainwashing. You hear about Epstein and the Weinsteins and the men with power who got away with all these things to all these women. Anyone, though. I mean, it really is anyone, because you could have a neighbor do this crap, as we're seeing in these stories, too, where, like, you go to a neighbor's house, and then all of a sudden they do some stuff, and it's like, don't tell anyone, da 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 da. Okay, so when Miller realized Madam 46 wasn't going to partake in a sexual thing anymore, the woman said he handed her a fat envelope stuffed with 10 grand cash in it. This is weird. Okay, so the guy's a billionaire. He's handing, I don't know how old she was here. Tries to hand a kid, was she a kid? 10K after giving $20, right? He said, I'm giving you this and just make sure you keep your mouth shut. I was so revolted and felt cheap and all the other words. Oh, wait till you get my job. My job in the 90s, they purposely did this crap to make you feel that way. So you need to know that, because yeah, as we analyze all their behaviors. So, because it's like a projection, because they feel like crap, and they have this inner thing with them where they see you as an object and that you are cheap and you'll do anything for money. So then, like, their way of, like, exerting their power is, like, not paying you or giving you, like, $20 as an insult. It's an insult. And so they do this type of crap. And then like giving you like 10K, which still from a billionaire is like, what the hell? Because if you go to court over it, you're gonna be going after millions. But he's like, 10K to shut you up, kid. It's like, yeah, that's not gonna shut anybody up, but you know, yeah, but he's doing it to make you feel bad because he knows what he's doing is that he's a pedophile. And so if people, you know, generally the public, well, they pretend that they're all outraged by this, but they're not because they're all doing this. It's like if you look at a room and it's like a cluster of these guys, they get up and they're like, they fake crusade, right? They're like, oh my God, this is the most horrible thing ever. We need to like, you know, put the DP on these people and yada yada. But in real life, in the background, they're actually doing this, right? And they're trying to like get your attention off the fact that they do this. I mean, it's just basically that. And then they want to make you feel like crap because they feel like crap. So at a time, and maybe they don't feel like crap. Some of them do, some of them don't. I threw it down the garbage chute. I didn't want anything to do with this many ever again. I think they mean man. Typo. They threw the 10K down a garbage chute? No, I wouldn't do that. Like, actually, what you could have done is take the 10K, went to the police, and said, this guy just handed me this after he touched me. You know what I mean? Like this thing. The cops would get you, go, you're a sex worker. You know, this thing. I don't know, but it would have been evidence. You could look at it like that. The woman urges any parent who learns about her story to talk to their kids about the importance of not being afraid to tell an adult something like this happened to them, because it happens more than people realize, and no child should have to suffer in silence. Thank you. Yeah, I shouldn't have had to suffer in silence, but when we come out, we shouldn't be attacked either by a bunch of evil Karens out here and other people. So yeah, I shouldn't have had to suffer in silence for a decade in that portion, in that other thing, which I did, and it was horrible, and we live with that still today, right? Oh, and I love how all these guys are coming out now, like admitting like what a pile of crap they are. It's like, oh yeah, you know, we sat back and we actually watched all this conduct, and you know, I have daughters now. I'm sick of the daughter thing, dude. You guys, I really am. They're not sorry for anything. Okay, so for these younger kids, find someone you can speak with. Well, we tried a million times. So even a lawyer. And my dad. Okay, so go to the police. Okay, no. I was like, the police were watching. Not to be scared. Oh, this information is bad because they're not talking about the police that do this, okay? Not to be scared. Are you kidding? And the police, like, victim blames the kids and does this to other kids. We wouldn't have a night guard if that crap wasn't going on, okay? It's somebody touches them, it's not their fault. It's the predator, not the victim's fault. Yeah, you're saying that, but wait till you talk to a cop. Wait till you should be scared of the cops to go to. You absolutely should. I wouldn't lie to some kids to tell them run to the cops and that this is not going to happen to them. It's actually more traumatic when they go to the cops and they tell them, and then the cop starts like victim blaming them and actually trying to arrest them. 200 million. 41 women are currently named in the lawsuit, which is seeking around 200 million from the electronics tycoon. However, there are other women who have alleged similar experiences with Miller. Okay, so his attorney in the class action, he told the U.S. Senate that he expects the number of victims to grow to at least 50 or more, as more women have already come forward with allegations. There's definitely power in numbers, and people feel comfortable telling that. Why do we need power in numbers, though? Why isn't it power in one person having this happen to them? Why do we need a million people? We don't. We shouldn't. In a civil action, the only thing we're able to do is obtain monetary damages. However, in addition to asking for compensatory damages, we have asked for a significant punitive damage award, so as a signal to the world that this conduct, if proven in court, is reprehensible. Yeah, but why isn't he going to jail, right? That's your justice system, because like he should be on trial to go to prison. 80 or not, dude. The guy wants to be young forever. I don't trust these guys with these plastic faces, dude, either, because that's making it worse. It's like showing I'm a big narcissist. That God, that it's reminding me of the other guy, the Mike Jeffries. Yeah, that dude, him too, with his damn bullshit. God, it's so creepy, you guys. That guy. No, no money. I don't know what doctor he went to, but him between him, it looks like a blow up doll, huh? Like something weird. I wouldn't know 80 years old though. I mean, that's the whole thing, I guess. It's like I'm not 80, ladies. I'm literally still like 10. It's like I don't know, but you don't look any of that. No, it looks like it was reminding me of that video from Phil Collins, right? Where they had all those like weird puppet face things.